Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to Cutting Edge. All right, we got a couple of more people joining. Hey, how are you guys? My name is Carlos Guerrero. I will be your host today. How you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Cameras are off. Let's get some cameras on, guys. This is going to be an interactive workshop training. There he is, Mr. Zoom user. What's up, brother? How are you? Love the workshop. Love the office. Love the warehouse. If you want to speak, you have to unmute yourselves. If not, you could guys use the chat. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Excited to have you guys here today. Chicago entrepreneur Eddie, what's up? Kira, Rita, iPhones, Carlos B. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. This is Daddy. Let's go. You guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up. You guys hear me okay? I'm gonna start presenting really soon. Really soon. I'm just having a few more people joining us. You know, we're Miami time. So I don't know about you guys where everybody's here from, but Miami time always people will show up at least 5 minutes late. I'm one of those people. I'm always late. Everything I do, I'm always late. I'm always late for some reason. I have that bad habit. All right, guys. So this is gonna be about 90 to 120-minute presentation, training, workshop. My intention here today is to basically give you clarity, okay? I've been doing this for 24 years. I've been a contractor myself. I was able to build a couple of businesses. So I've done a lot of testing trial. And today I'm gonna share with you guys exactly how is it that I was able to start making some money. Because at the end of the day, when you started your business to make money. And one of the things that I learned is that in order to make money, you have to be able to solve problems. You have to be able to be good at what you do. And as contractors, a lot of times we tend to work really, really, really hard in long hours. But it's not really about working hard. It's also about working smart. And that's the clarity that I want to give you guys. And I want to show you guys the 3 things that you guys have to basically become an expert at. Or hire the right people, the right team for that. So I have put here a presentation together. You guys should also have the workbook. Give me a sec. So you guys should have a workbook. If you didn't print out the workbook, that's okay. Yep. If you didn't print out the workbook, that's okay. You could just write the notes. What this is going to help you guys is identify where your gaps are. My intentions is by the end of today to make sure that everybody here understands where you need to work on so that you could get the results that you're looking for. Okay. And by putting that on a piece of paper and really understanding, then it's going to at least help you understand moving forward next week, the next month. Maybe you have to just hit something really hard, get better at that, so that you could basically start seeing results. Because at the end of the day, it's about making progress. Like maybe today you're here, but like maybe today you're doing $1 million in revenue. Maybe you're doing $500,000 in revenue. Maybe you're doing 2 million in revenue. Whatever you're doing in revenue, you obviously want to go to the next level. Maybe it's 4 million. Maybe your new target is 5 million. Whatever the number is. But for you guys to go through the journey, you have to work on yourselves. Okay. One of the things that I learned in my journey, and I teach that not just to my team, but the other people, I teach that like, how can I improve every single day? How can me, not blame the subcontractors, not blame the clients, not blame the material guys, not blame other people, but how can I improve? And once I was able to adapt that and make those changes and improve myself on a daily basis, then I was able to basically get to the next level. So I think most of you guys are in already. We still have missing a few people. I want to go ahead and get started, if that's okay. So let's begin. So I have a presentation behind you. Just again, guys, if you can take notes. I know some of you guys are driving. I get it. I was there too in the truck, all day long hours. But I promise you guys, if you just pay attention, take some notes. We'll have some Q&A after. There will be like one golden nugget in this presentation, I promise you, that will help each and every one of you guys to basically solve a problem. And you guys understand that one problem that you solve in your business or in your daily activities equals to thousands of dollars, equals to a lot of time. The most valuable thing that I have and that you guys have is our time. Can we agree? Our time is the most valuable thing that we have. So my job as a business owner, is to what? Is to save time and to get where I need to get there much faster. Okay? And it's not about how hard I work. It's not about that. How smart I work and where I put my time and effort. And how do I improve myself every single day? All right? So let's jump into it. Contractor workshop. So basically today is about short lessons. I want to be very direct with you guys. Okay? I want you guys to like think also like how we're going to improve and give you like really clarity on what's going on in your business. We all we're on the same journey, but in different stages. Okay, so I want to do that for you guys today. Now, most contractors work hard, but the effort alone doesn't create consistency. I really gonna explain that to you guys. Okay, not just about working hard. And I'm gonna share a story about working hard. How many of you guys know people, older people, right, that have worked hard their whole life, but they're stuck? My dad, for instance, my dad, he's 77 years old. He's 77 years old. In his whole life, he had worked really hard. He used to wake up at 6 in the morning, get home at 6, 7 p.m. at night, Monday through Saturday, every single day. And that's what that's what I learned about him. Work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard. Today, my dad still wakes up at 6, 7 in the morning. He goes to the job and he comes back. And he works for me doing demo. He never built a real business. He never was able to create something. So when I see my dad, that he was my role model, and he taught me, yeah, work hard. But it's not about working hard. How many, you guys know a lot of people like that too. You guys know a lot of people that they've been in business for many years, they work hard, but they're not nowhere they need to be at. Maybe that's you right now. David raised his hand. Yeah. Dave, I feel you, Dave. You know, Dave raised his hand. He seems like an older guy. You know, you've probably been in business. I'm gonna say you've been in business for over 20 years, right? Over 20 years been in business. Okay. You probably make 300-400, maybe $500,000 in revenue a year. You work with your hands. You're at the job site every single day.
I want to
Grinding.
learn. I want to learn how to work smart now, Carlos.
Love that. And that's what you hear. Okay. And by the way, it's never too late. Guys, I'm telling you, it's never too late. My mentor today is Andy Elliott. Who knows Andy Elliott? If you guys know Andy Elliott, okay, so that's my mentor today. I also mentor with Grant Cardone. You guys probably know Grant Cardone too. So the reason that I spend so much time, energy, and money in mentoring with these big names is because I need to do something about it. I need to save time. And the only way that I was able to do that is by mentoring and putting myself in the right rooms. And one thing that I learned is that everybody that went to those meetings with me in those events that I go all the time, there's different ages. So it's never too late to really transform your life. Never. Okay? So just think about that. It's never too late. When do you start? You start today. Today you make the right decisions because you want to improve. You want to get better. And you want to basically work less. I only work maybe 5 hours in my construction company as a contractor. That's it. And I work 5 hours because I choose to, because I built a business. And I'm gonna walk you through that now. Okay. So most contractors work hard, but effort alone doesn't create consistency. Guessing creates unpredictable income, stressful projects, and constant reaction. So when you start guessing, it's gonna show up everywhere. When you guess in your marketing, meaning you wanna try to generate leads, it's gonna show up there if you're guessing. If you're guessing in your sales process, in how to sell, what is your sales pipeline, it's gonna show up there. If you're guessing in your operations, in basically producing the jobs or performing what you promised, the guessing is going to basically affect every single department. The ultimate goal of guessing or winging it, whatever you want to call it, guessing, winging is all the same thing. Your ultimate cost of that is going to be more time, guys and girls, more time. It's going to take you longer. It's going to be more money. And it's going to be more stressful. That's it. When you guess and you wing it, that's going to be your cost. That's why I chose to learn every single day and learn from people that are doing what I want to do, where I want to get. Not learning from my father, My father always gives me advice. Hey, son, you should be doing this. Hey, son, don't buy the property. That property makes no sense because I also do investments. Hey, son, why are you doing this? I'm like, yeah, dad, I get it. I get it. But if I was to listen to his advice and apply his advice, I wouldn't go anywhere. So I need to listen to people that have already gone where I want to go. Does that make sense? All right, good. Now, inconsistent is frustrating. Some weeks feel great, others feel out of control. The reason you guys are here, and you guys, most of you guys here are gonna be already in the business because we were very niche targeting on who we wanted to be on this call. So you guys already understand that some weeks you have a lot of projects, you overstress, and then what happens the next week? You finish the projects, and then you go back to square one. Okay, I need more leads, I need more projects, I need more, right? So it's this constant up and down that you go through. Sometimes you're doing great and you feel fantastic and everything is amazing. And sometimes you're not. That's the inconsistent. That's the frustrating part of this business. Now, hard work isn't the issue, it's missing the skills part, okay? It's not that you're not working hard, it's that you're just missing the skills. And there's gonna be 3 skills we're gonna talk about today. You're missing the skills on how to continue having opportunities, how to figure out how to pick the right projects for you that are gonna give you the profits that you need, that are gonna pay for everything. And then once you have the project, how are you gonna be able to manage those projects that they don't take all of your time? You're gonna delegate, you're gonna manage, you're gonna be a real owner. Because being a business owner is not about doing all the work yourself. It's about learning the skills, and then eventually you're gonna duplicate yourself. The first step is being honest to yourself. Now, let's go ahead and open to page number 2 in your workbook. Page number 2. Okay, so it says here, how to use this workbook. We still have people joining. How to use this workbook. This is not a workbook you finish later. Fill this out live. So I want you guys to fill this out. If you don't have it printed, just on a piece of paper. Be honest, okay? No one's gonna see it but you. This is for you, for your records. Use this to gain clarity, not perfection, okay? The first step, guys, to fixing a problem is understanding you have a problem. That is the first step. If you don't tell yourself, listen, I'm messing up here, I could improve here, you're never gonna fix it. So this is why we're gonna do this live. All right. Now, page number 3. Reality check. I want you guys to fill this up really quick. Before skills, we need the truth. Answer quickly. Don't overthink about it. Just read it and answer this. Right now, my business feels like what? Okay, you have busy but uncertain, inconsistent, stressful, reactive, hard to predict income. Check the ones that apply to you. And then fill in the blanks. The part of my business that feels the most unstable is what? And then what I keep hoping will magically improve on its own. Okay, I want to have this reality on you guys. I'm going to give you guys about a minute to fill it out. Okay. Everybody's good? All right. Now, everything I'm gonna show you comes from real jobs. We have done over $60 million in projects. Okay. So the stuff, the information I'm gonna teach you today and show you, and it's from real sweat and tears, from failures. By the way, I had more failures in my career than I had wins. And that is part of the process. I tell my teams all the time, we had a meeting today with my team. You're going to fail more than you're gonna win. And I told my team this today, the minute that you give up and you stop is when you actually will fail. Because most of us are like right there. We're right there ready to do this, most of us. But we just quit too soon. Okay, so just understand that I had more failures than wins in my career. Way more. And the stuff I'm gonna show you is from the wins. What actually works. So what I wanna do with you guys really quick, I'm gonna show you the projects that I do, and I'm gonna show you the numbers, because that one of the questions that I get asked a lot is how much should I be charging on my project, Carlos? How long does it take? So I wanna show you, I'm gonna do a screen share, I'm gonna show you a few projects, and then I'm gonna show you the numbers. So you guys could have an idea on what is it that you're trying to achieve, or maybe you're like in a different niche. But whether you're a contractor, a window contractor, a kitchen contractor, a general contractor, it all applies. The skills applies to everybody. So let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. I'm gonna share this screen. Sorry, I have 3 screens going on at once. Share. You flying already? Sky. Incredible. All right, let's do it. All right. So I'm just opening some typical, I'm gonna show you some pictures first. Okay, so this is just a typical house. What I do, my business does, is we basically go and do full gut remodels, do additions, new constructions. We do the kitchens, the tiles, the floors, everything. So this is a house. We basically convert the whole house. We do construction, and this is the end product. So that's pretty self-explanatory. That's what we do in construction. This is one project. Let me show you another project. I don't want to spend too much time on this. So this is another project that we basically completed. That was a before pictures. And then we'll get to the after, the framing, the roof. You guys seen this a million times. Nothing out of this world. It's just helping the transformation of the projects. My projects usually take anywhere between 6 to 12 months to complete. We have done some in 4 months. We have done some in 2 years, depending the size of the project. And the last project, this is a condo. These are before pictures. Okay. So you guys get the idea. All right. I don't want to spend too much time on this. The after pictures. And that's it. Now let me show you the numbers for this project. That's the interesting part. Okay. So this is my price is loading up, I think. Yeah. So this is my profit and loss. Okay. So I set up everything through QuickBooks, by the way. Everything's done set up through QuickBooks. And I do all my charts of accounts, I do all my items. So here is my actual cost. This is my actual revenue. And I line everything up: demolition, doors, electrical, framing. So in this project, when I go to the bottom, this was a 600, my cost was $468,000 on this project. My client paid me $678,000, and we took home $212,000. This is when the whole project, this was probably a 6-month project. We have another one here, same scenario, my cost, my revenue. So here was a $200,000 project. We spent $166, we took $31,000. This is probably a faster project. Another one here is, this one was a $375,000 project, $131,000. Now, a lot of people ask me my markup. So if you guys get the profit and you divide that by the actual revenue of the project, that gives you the markup. My average markup is 30% after everything is paid. Okay, so I'm making 30% on every single project average. Some I make 25, some I make 40. So that's my average markup. Here's another one. This one's a bigger project. It's $380,000. We made 120. And then that last one here, this was, I don't know why it's not loading up. All right, this one was at $838,000. We made almost $300,000 in this project. Okay, and again, all these projects are literally anywhere between 6 months and a year and a half. Now, why I'm sharing this with you guys, what I have learned And I have a lot of clients that have come work with me, and I help them with their business. We had a client, Arturo. When he started, he was doing $200,000 in revenue, and now he's doing $1.5 million. And he was doing the smaller projects. But the whole concept is the same, guys. The whole concept in doing this business is you start somewhere, but every day you're improving your process, your systems, your service, your skills to go somewhere. Does that make sense? When I started my business, I was doing $5,000 projects. I was doing $10,000 projects. I was doing window repairs. I was doing driveways. I was doing little projects because I didn't know the skills. I didn't have a brand. I didn't know the skills. I didn't know how to estimate. Like I didn't know how to do that. But little by little, I had a vision, and I was surrounding myself with people that were going to help me get to the vision, right? And I had the goal. So what I did is I just basically put the goal. I need to do more revenue, right? Because a business is about the revenue. If I want to get to a $1 million business and I'm doing $200,000, how do I do that? And it's not going to happen overnight, guys. It doesn't happen overnight. It's little steps that you have to take to get to that level. But when you start understanding and working on yourself, on the skills that you need, which we're going to talk about in a second, then you start getting and you start getting better. And then you start choosing your projects. You start choosing who you want to attract, what kind of deals you want to do. Because maybe some of us have the issue that you don't have enough pipelines coming in and you're taking the wrong jobs simply because you're desperate because you have a lead issue that you haven't been able to fix. Some of you guys just don't have a sales process or you don't have the sales skills to really offer your services, increase the value so that people will pay you more for your services versus trying to be the cheapest option, okay? And some of you, you got the leads, you got the projects, but then you fumble in the operations and you're losing your time and money. Does that make sense? So it really depends, and this is why it's so important to like little by little improve your skill sets. Now, let's go on to the truth. Yeah, I mean, like, if you guys want to put in we're gonna be doing the thing on the thing, but where do you guys feel that you need more help right now? You can put in the chat. Is my chat open right now? Let me see my chat. Where do you guys feel that you're dropping the ball right now? Like, what's your challenges? Let me see, sales. Okay, so we got sales. All right, sales, good. Operational systems, good. Good. Sales, operational systems. Estimates, okay, estimates. That's part of sales. Converting estimates in contracts, okay, that's a sales issue, right? That's a sales issue. There's definitely room for improvement. Consistency. I love that you said consistency, my friend. Consistency is everything. Like consistency is not even a skill. It's just something that you have to be willing to learn, to continue doing it over and over. You're gonna fail. But as long as you're tracking your data, you're tracking your results, you can make the right adjustments to get different results. You see, the problem, a lot of times the problem is that we think we know it all and we keep doing the same thing over and over. And then eventually, you just blame everything else. No, it's the market. No, the business doesn't work. The construction business, no, it's not for me. It's not a construction business. It's not your niche. It's not the projects that you're doing. It's not that, guys. It's really yourself. Because I know people that make millions of dollars, that have successful companies, whether it's a painting company, whether it's a landscaping company, whether it's a general contracting company, whether it's a tile company, a kitchen cabinet company. Every niche, every business could potentially make a lot of money. And one thing that we all have in common is the operator, the leader, the CEO of the company. Like, what are you doing to basically build the company, right? And it's easier said than done because I've been there. I've been in your shoes. I've been in a lot of those shoes that are very stressful, long hours. So I get it. So the truth is that most contractors never learn the skills required to make more money. They don't understand how to attract clients. Okay, so attracting clients is one of the biggest things that you need to understand. And it starts that you don't even know who your client is. Like, if you don't know who you're looking for, how do you find them? How do you attract them? And the key word is attract. Okay, I don't want to attract people that are not going to pay for my time and value, the value that I bring, the value that I know that I bring. Okay. And another side is try to lower their costs. Some of you guys are just lowering your costs. A lot of contractors, they just lower their costs to get the job. Oh yeah, I'm going to be the cheapest, but great. You lower cost, you got the project, but then you ain't making no money on the project. Each project that you guys take on should be able to pay for everything. The reason I show you my numbers is because those projects, each project pays for everything, pays for all the labor, pays for all the materials, pays for my project managers, my supervisor, pays for everything. And me, the business owner, still make money on the project. Now, it wasn't always like that. I had to build my skills. I had to learn how to do it so that I could duplicate myself. Okay, and then the last problem, the last truth is that you react to problems instead of preventing them. In operations, instead of preventing things that are going to happen, you just react to the problems. You wait till something burns down before you react. And that's the biggest mistake. What we need to do in operations is like you're always planning ahead to prevent, not to react. Okay, so that's the truth about most contractors. Now, the 3 skills that matter first. Okay, now I'm talking to the people that most of you are going to be here, by the way. We were very targeted to have this group of people here because this is what we do in our marketing. Like we know who we attract. So most of you guys are going to have these issues. Okay, so number 1 is getting the right leads, right? Getting in front of the right person. Number 2, selling projects with confidence. Basically, selling projects without lowering your price. Selling value over cost. There's a way of doing that. And number 3, delivering projects within budget, right? On the time frame that you promised. The client is happy, you're happy, they're paying you. Everybody's happy, and you're making money. Okay, so those are 3 skills that matter the most in the foundation of your business before you could even start growing your business. So the skills come first before you do processes, before you do systems, and before you hire people. A big mistake that I see on most people is that they want to just hire people, but they don't know who to hire. They don't know how to train them. They don't know how to onboard them. And I hear this all the time. Carlos, I can't find good people. Carlos, I can't find good subs. Carlos, I can't do this. And then when I ask him, okay, well, how do you hire people? How do you onboard people? How do you train people? How do you do it yourself? And most people don't know that. So I'm like, how are you going to hire somebody or bring somebody on board and you don't have the play or you don't know the skills or you know what you're looking for? It doesn't work. People do it backwards. So what worked for me is that I learned the skills. Once I was able to learn the skills and be a good marketer, a good salesperson, and a good project manager, and I did the whole cycle myself, which by the way, that's why it took me so long to get where I'm at. But once I was able to learn that, then what I do, I went to the next step, right? And then I invested in process and systems for my company so that I could do the job faster, easier. And then what I do, and then now I was able to get the people. Now I hire people. I know who I'm looking for. I hire people. I train my people to follow the processes, systems of things that actually work and move. And then that's when you start scaling. That's when you start investing more money into your business. You learn how to make the money by learning the skills. Then you invest the money back into your business by duplicating yourself. Does that make sense? Does this stuff make sense, guys? Yes? Yes? Okay, good. All right, skill number 1, leads. So let's jump to first skills that everyone needs to learn here. More leads won't fix the problem. Better leads will, okay? So this probably happens to a lot of you guys. You spend a lot of money in marketing. Maybe you buy agency, you hire agencies, you go to, I don't know, House, you go to, what else? Home Advisor, all those shitty websites that you all know. And you get all the shitty leads. You get a bunch of shitty leads. That's not gonna fix your problem. That's just gonna cost you more time. Because now you have to qualify the people, you have to go meet them, you have to do the estimates, and then you're dealing with somebody that you shouldn't be dealing in the first place. But better leads will. Okay? So why most leads fail? Targeting everyone. So this is why it fails. You know who you're looking at, you know who you're going after. You're basically marketing to everybody. And I promise you, you can't service everybody. you don't have a qualification process in your marketing. You don't know how to qualify people in your marketing, or the people that you're hiring don't know how to do it. And, or you have the wrong marketing plan. Your plan is just broken. Okay. Now, what good leads have? This is what a good lead have. Like when you speak to somebody, they have a real problem. They have real urgency. And they have the funds to pay you. So in your marketing efforts, you want to be able to target people that have a problem, but you also have to understand what problem that you solve for them. And then once you figure that part out, like what problem you solve as an expert in your business, in your trade, and who's your ideal client, then all your marketing efforts goes to finding that client, using their language, providing the stuff that is going to attract them. Remember how I say you have to learn how to attract them? So let's go to your page 6 on your workbook. Page 6. Actually, do we do this all these pages? Page 4, frustrating that is costing you. Actually, you know what? We actually missed a couple of pages. Frustrating. Page 4. What is costing you? Okay, do you guys mind going to page 4 really quick? Okay, before we get to the lead, go to page 4 and kind of just fill this in the blank. The situation I'm most tired of dealing with. Okay, what is the situation you're more tired of dealing with? And I know I asked you in the chat, but we could do it here. So right now, where you are, what is the situation that you're most tired of dealing with? And then you're gonna go ahead and write, when things go wrong, it's usually around what? Leads, sales conversion, pricing confidence, projects, issues, all of the above. Yeah, those look, huh? No, I mean, you could do it blurry. All right, you guys did that? All right, what it has cost me? Time, money, stress. Okay, the next page, page 5, awareness, the real problem. Most contractors struggle because they're lazy. They struggle because they never learn the core business skills. Those skills are getting the right leads. We spoke about that right now. Selling projects with confidence and delivering projects without chaos. Which of this feels weakness for you right now? Like where are you having more trouble right now? The number one that you're having more trouble right now. That if you were to fix this right now, boom, you start scaling your business, start growing, you start making more money. Right now, listen, right now we're in the position of you just need to make more money. Okay. Before you can invest in your business and in teams and software, you have to make more money. Those are the skills. All right. So now the clarity for lead. So let's go ahead and page 6. So not all leads are good leads. Where most of my leads are coming from today? Like if you have to pick where are your leads coming from today, write it down. Where do you get most of your leads? Number 1, where do you get most of your leads? Number 2, leads that usually turn into problems. Okay, what are the leads that usually turn into problems that are coming in right now? What leads you shouldn't be dealing with that are coming right now? What are the leads that usually turn into good projects? Okay, what are the leads that you like? And right now, I say yes to leads that shouldn't because. Are you saying leads that you shouldn't because what? You're desperate. You need the money. You just need another project. You got to keep your team busy. Why are you saying yes to leads that you shouldn't? Like you know some of these leads you shouldn't say yes to, but you do it. Okay. Lead clarity. Do most of my leads have real intent and ability to pay? Are the leads that you're targeting right now, do they need finance all the time? Or did they have money to pay? Like do they ask you, oh, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. Maybe that's the problem in the marketing. You're just going after the wrong niches. You're going after tire kickers. Maybe that's one of the problems. Okay. Lead clarity. All right. I want to go ahead and do a quick Q&A for everything that I covered before I keep going. I don't want to lose you. But so far, does anybody have any questions about what we have covered so far? You could unmute yourself or you could use the chat, whatever you guys want. Anybody has any questions so far? References, leads and sales, getting the right. Okay, no questions. We're good. Everybody's good. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask. Don't be shy. But by the way, there's no bad questions. Questions actually helps the group. A lot of people are shy to ask questions, and I've seen this before, but one question helps everybody.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Great. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, Carlos. You mentioned about when you go getting new people, it's good for you to learn some of the skills before you try to make a system and hire. That list that you have there in your estimate, in your proposal, that has like 50 skills from plumbers and electricians and all kinds of people. Where do you draw the line before you take the leap to go to bigger jobs, even though you don't really know how to fulfill them if you don't have a team backing you up?
Got it. Okay, so that's a great question. The people that I hired to do the skill trade, there's different skills that I'm talking about. The skills of my projects, demo, electrical, mechanical, I subcontract most of the work. The skills that I'm talking about that I need to learn, me, myself, you guys, individually, you guys, is not the skills to do the work, okay? Anybody here that you're doing the physical work, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You need to stop doing that. The sooner, the better. Why? Because you, my friends, are capping yourself. Okay? And it's not because you want to, because it's the market. The market says, the market value says, not me, not you guys. The market value says, laborers, the people doing the skilled labor, make anywhere between $150 to $300-400 per day. That's the market. So when you sell your time to do the physical work at the job site, you are limiting yourself to growth. You are, nobody else. Now, the skills that you guys should be getting better at is really two skills that I could help you with. Number one, the sales skills. As a salesperson, how can I sell a project, whether it's tiling, electrical, plumbing, whatever trade you're doing? How can I sell the project to my ideal client for the value that I bring, and that project, when I sell it, is going to pay for the physical guy that I'm going to hire to do the physical work, because I don't need to be doing the work, because I don't want to limit myself. I need to be a salesperson, project manager first. Once I reach my cap, because as a salesperson, project manager, now you could make $150,000 to $250,000 per year. That role makes the market allows that role to make more money. Why? Because it's a different skill that you need. Once you become a great salesperson, a great project manager, and you limit yourself, you learn it. Now you are ready to take the next role, which is what? A manager. And eventually you want to become the CEO of your company. As you go up the ladder, you could make more money. You're increasing how much money you could make. But you should be working on the skills for you as now, two things. I'm going to start with two things, because the marketing is a really hard thing to do. Generating leads, you're probably better off hiring an agency, a good agency that could give you qualified leads once you know who you're going to help and you make the investments. But you are working on yourself to be a great salesperson. You learn how to estimate, you learn how to talk to people, you learn how to connect, you learn how to present, and then you sell the project at a premium. Now, you're able to sell a project at a premium. People are going to pay you what you deserve. You're going to subcontract the work to a laborer. The laborer is only going to be able to make $250 a day, but now your time and effort goes to selling more, bigger, better projects. At the same time, if you have a partner, with yourself. Then you also need to you need to be the great project manager, overseeing the project, not being the project. That should be your first level entry. Great salesperson, great project manager. Because when you're doing the physical work, not only it takes so much time and effort and energy, but you don't have time for anything else. You don't have time to build the clients. You don't have time to do your books, your accounting. You don't have time to see things high level. Okay, does that make sense as the skills? So I don't learn how to do that tile skills. I have never learned how to do that. I could probably demo, but that's me holding myself from growth. Okay, I'd rather be a better person to find people. Like, that's another skill, by the way. Once you get to the hiring people and building your team, now you have to learn that leadership skill that comes later. Now you have to be a good leader. You have to learn how to find the right people, how to attract the right people. You have to learn how to onboard them, how to train them, how to motivate them, so that they're basically doing that part of the job. Any other questions? All right, let's move on. All right, so skills number 2. This is the sales skills, okay? So the first skills is learning how to generate and qualify leads, which takes a lot of time. So my suggestion to you guys is you do not learn the skills on generating leads, but you learn how to hire the company to do it. Now, for the leads, what you guys should be doing on a daily basis is you're building your brand, your personal brand. That's the only thing that you should be doing in the marketing part. You're posting about the projects that you do, your pictures. Like, you just want to build your personal brand. So when people meet you, they're like, okay, this guy is serious. I see his portfolio. All right. Now, skill number 2, sales. Selling is not pressure. Selling is clarity. Okay. Selling is not pressure. Selling is clarity. So why prices become the excuse? All right. This is what happens with your prospects, with your clients. They either ghost you, they tell you the price is too much. So why is that becomes the excuse? It's an excuse, guys. I'm going to tell you what right now, an excuse. Every project I have done, every single project, they always go over the budget. Not me, the clients. Does this happen to you guys? You start with a price and then they ask for more, they ask for more, they ask for more, they ask for more. They keep asking, they keep asking. So did the price go over the budget because of me or because of them? It went over them. And they tell you, oh, my budget is this. And then they ask for more, they ask for more. So the price is just an excuse. It's a made up word, okay? Just an excuse. And the reason that the reason that you're battling for prices is because your service is not clear. Number 1, your scope is not clear. What you do is not clear. Your value is not clear. And why are you different than the other 3 guys that they spoke? Like, sometimes we're so focused on the price and the scope, the price and the price and what are you going to do, that we forget about building a relationship. We forget about really finding out what's important to them and listening to them. Okay? So the service is not clear. Number 2, the process isn't clear. Like, your jobs as an expert is to walk through them what's going to happen next. Explain to them there's a process to this madness, because they're seeking for you for your expertise. So maybe your process is like, maybe you don't have a process. Let's be honest. Some of you guys are just winging it. And if you cannot explain your process to a prospect client, how are they going to feel confident in hiring you that you're going to help them solve the problem? Okay. And number 3, your confidence is not there. You just don't have enough skills, enough experience to bring in the confidence that you need to tell a client, I got you. I'm going to take care of you. I am the best option for you. Like, your confidence has to be there. And your confidence is built by experience, built by wins, not by losses, by wins. Okay? So you need to have those 3 things so that the price is never an excuse anymore. Yes, are you going to have to handle objections to the price? Absolutely, which is part of the sales process, handling objections. But there's a way of handling objections without lowering your price. It's a skill that we have to learn. All right. People don't buy price. They buy confidence and clarity. Okay? They're buying relief. Everybody hears the horror stories, guys. You're not the only ones that hear the horror stories. Everybody has a friend of a grandma. They had a bad experience with a contractor. They had a bad experience with the pool. They had a bad experience with the landscaping. They had a bad experience with the kitchen. So why are you different? They're buying the relief. They're buying the trust. Your confidence matters more than your numbers. Listen to me. Your confidence matters more than your numbers. Now, yes, does your numbers need to be realistic with the market? Yes, absolutely. If it's a $100,000 project, you're not gonna expect to charge $200,000. Like you have to be within a ballpark, right? But most of the times nowadays, you guys know, you guys go and you get an estimate. This kitchen guy says $20,000. This other guy says $60,000. This other guy says $100,000. You know, like prices are all over the place. So it is your job to really understand what they're looking for so that you could present it in a way that's going to basically get you the winning bid. All right, confidence selling looks like this. You got the clear scope of work. You have a clear process. You explain to them what's happening, what's going on, how is this, what to expect next. Like that is what it looks like. Okay, you're always a step ahead from them. You're always leading because you're the expert. You're leading. And by the way, this only happens when you attract the right clients, the person that you're going after, right? Like you have to determine who's your ideal client and what is the sales process and what is the journey, the client journey looks like for them. And then you just focus on that one particular client. Trust me, there's a lot of people out there that is your ideal client, a lot of them. We just have to work on how to attract them. All right, so sales clarity. Let's go to page 7. Page 7. All right, sales clarity. Selling is not convincing. Selling is helping people decide. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is just let them, here's the options. Let's make a decision today. Do you want to work with me or do you want to work with the other guy? Make a decision. All right, so what makes me feel unsure during the sales conversation? So write that down. For you guys, when you're in the sales process, whatever process you guys have, what makes you feel unsure during your sales process? By the way, sales process is from the point that you generate a lead all the way to they send a contract. Everything in between is your sales process. So what part of your sales process you're having a hard time? Is that estimating the job? Is it getting the bids? Is it your presentation? Are you even doing a presentation? Or do you just send a proposal? Like, what do you think you're having a hard time? When a homeowner hesitates, I usually do what? What do you usually do when there's hesitation on the owner? Do you lower your price? You over-explain, maybe? You feel stuck? What do you guess what to say? What do you do? What homeowners seem most confused about? By the way, these questions, guys, when you guys leave here today, don't toss this away. You wanna collect this information. Like if some of these questions are making you think and you don't know the answer, that is great. But moving forward, this is data that you want to track because you want to understand this so you could understand what is happening with your clients. So you know what to fix. Okay. So these questions are very important. They're meant for that. Sales clarity is checked. When I present a job, what is least clear? When you present the job, what is least clear on your presentation? Is it the scope? Is it your process? Is it the next step? What do you think is not clear? All right, let me know when you guys are done. We're good? Guys, be honest with these answers, man. This is for you guys. This is gonna help you get clarity. Like you guys have to have the clarity. Before you could fix a problem, you need to understand what is the problem, what's holding you back, what is your bottleneck, okay? And I promise you, we all have improvement in all these areas, including myself, including my business. I'm always looking to improve specific stuff. There's always room for improvement. But it starts with me knowing that there's a problem. There's a gap. I just have to make adjustments. And a lot of times the adjustments are very minor adjustments, very minor. You don't have to like restart the whole thing again. A lot of times we get frustrated, like, no, I have to, no, you have to start all over again. It's just tracking and making minor adjustments. Now, let's do a quick Q&A on sales before we move into project execution. Sales. Anybody has questions about the sales, about what we covered in sales? Questions. Go ahead, just unmute yourself.
Hello.
And ask. Yes.
Hey, Carlos, I have a question for you. When you go to a lead, like you closing the deal in the spot, or you have different meetings, second, third meetings?
Yes. So the way that we do it is different. Remember, my projects have $1 million projects. So we actually have a presentation phase on my stages. I have stages. My clients, they come to my office where I present my proposal. After we go to the job site, after we speak, we book an appointment. They come to my office. They sit in my conference room, and we do a full presentation. And my presentation is not about the price. It's never about the price, guys. My presentation, yeah, we talk about the price, but we talk about everything. We talk about what to expect, how do we work, the price, the timeline. We do a full presentation.
Makes sense.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Good. And yes, most of the time we close them on the spot. Because when they're here, when they're in my house, we have the control. And by the way, we already handle all the objections before they get here. And there's a way of doing that I teach people how to do that. Like we already handle, as a salesperson, your number one job, write this down. Your number one job before you give them what they want, which is a proposal, the estimate, is handle every single objection. If you cannot handle every objection before you send the proposal, you're not ready to send the proposal. That's the skill that you have to learn how to do. Okay, you have to handle every objection before you send the proposal, because what happens? If you don't handle objection, if they don't see the value, you send a proposal, they disappear you. That's why people, they ghost me. Yes, because you have a lot of gaps in your sales process. They're gonna continue ghosting you. Oh, people don't call me back, Carlos. Yes, absolutely. I wouldn't call you back either, because I don't feel confident that you're the right person. Or my intentions were wrong. Listen, some people are never gonna do the project. They just wasted your time. They wasted your valuable time. They took you through this journey. And then, oh no, we just wanted to get a number, but we're not gonna do it now. We're never gonna do it. Oh, we didn't even buy the house. Oh, great. I just wasted my time. So that's why in your sales process, there's a process. The initial call is very important. What are you doing in the initial call? Are you asking the right questions? Are you qualifying? Because you control the process, my friends. You are in charge on taking a prospective client from point A to point B to point C to point D and so forth. You're in control of that. And you don't take them to the next step if they're not ready to go to the next step. Listen, we get a lot of inquiries in my cutting edge innovative company. And the first thing is like, where are they right now? Do they own the property? Okay, great. Why do they want to do it? Do they have plans? Do they have permits? Are they in idea phase? Like, where are they in the journey? Did they already hire an architect? Did they already start the job? Now they need a change of contract. Like, where are they in the journey? Like, I need to understand that. Forget about the proposal and the estimates. I don't care. I care about that, but that's just like 5-10% of what I really care about. I care about everything. I want to see the whole story before I put my time. Remember I told you guys the most important thing that we all have here is our time? Before I put my valuable time, my resources, my energy, I need to understand that this is a client that I could help, and vice versa. This is a client that they fit in my ideal client bucket. And if it's not, thank you for calling. Go down the street. You're not for me, I'm not for you. Next. I keep my energy on filling up my leads with qualified people that are not gonna waste my time, and I'm not gonna waste their time. This is a two-way interaction. Okay? And that's sales. That's why sales skills, forget about the estimating. A lot of people like think, oh, I just know how to estimate. Who cares? You need to know how to estimate. You need to learn how to sell. The estimate comes later. Getting the price comes later. Understanding the scope of work comes later sometimes. Like sometimes you can even estimate yes because they haven't gone through the process to even give them a price. They don't even know what they want. I used to do that mistake so much time. I remember being on my truck, driving to the job site, calling people, and they had no idea what they want. And I'm like, they're like taking notes. Yeah, you want this, you want, oh yeah, give me an option for this, give me an option for that, and give me an option for this, and give me an option for that. Option. I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna give you so many options? They don't know what they want. So then I go back home, right? Because I had to work for my house. And I sit there for hours, creating a scope of work, creating an estimate, giving prices, calling my guys, hey, how much is this? 4, 5, 6 hours, trying to put up a proposal together. And then I send it by email. I get ghosted. No response. I invested 6, 7, 8 hours of my time so that they ignore me. And then the few ones that I got, the projects that I got, the few ones, because there's a very small margin of the people that I had to do the whole thing and actually get the project. Guess what? Everything changed. Started the plans. No, I don't want this. No, I want that. So the proposal it took me 8 hours, 10 hours to do because I was guessing, because they didn't know what they want yet, because they were in an early stage. They were not there yet. It went to the trash. So I'm like, dude, there has to be a better way. My time is valuable. Back then, my time was probably worth $15 an hour. Okay? $15 an hour times 8 hours. I just spent almost $100 in my time. Now my time is it's a lot more, but that's because I did that. I value my time. And I value where I invest my time. And the best thing I could tell you guys, your time should be invested in you every single day. You, my friends, the skills, you need to learn this shit. You have to be confident. You have to understand that there's a process. There's a framework for everything. There's a process, step-by-step process. There's a recipe. Like cooking. Like if you're gonna cook something, there's a recipe. You have to mix the eggs. You have to put up the powder. You have to put it in the oven. You have to preheat the oven. That's a process. That's a step-by-step. If you don't follow the steps, it's not gonna work out. All right. Any other sales questions?
Yeah.
Sales
Edgar
questions.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Edgar had a question. He says, what if you don't have a conference room?
Conference room. Great. Do a Zoom presentation. Go to their house and present the proposal. The reason that I make them come to my office is because I want to see if they're serious enough to invest their time. I already invested my time. I went to see them. Now they need to come and see me. And which, by the way, this is why from the initial call, remember we talked about setting the expectations, the process? I explained this to everybody on the call. From the initial call, I'm already explained, okay, oh, great, this is what's going to happen. The first step, I'm going to go this. The second step, I'm going to do this. And the third step, you're going to come to my office. And then if everything looks good, we're going to sign the contract. How does it sound? Yes, it sounds great. Now we're in alignment. Now I'm going to move my ass. But if they don't agree to my process, to my terms, to my steps, why would I change my method of doing business for somebody that is not even serious, or that I feel that is not serious? So I don't have at this time, I just need to focus on generating more leads, getting more opportunities, so that I'm only dealing with the people that are going to value my time. And if they're willing to come to my office, they're serious and they value my time. And most important, they agree to my process. Because what happens on the construction side, we're going to talk about in a second, on the project management side, when I'm running a project, I'm in control. So if the client wants to be in control of that's not going to work out. There can only be one captain in the ship, and that has to be the project manager. So if the client from the beginning is giving me a hard time on my process, what do you think is going to happen when I start the project? Which is going to be a 6-8 month relationship. It's going to be a nightmare. If they're not willing to hire me for my expertise, and they want to be in charge, then you do the fucking project. Go ahead, you do it. So that's why it's important to set expectations from day one so that they understand, okay, these people are very, which by the way, we have closed $1 million projects, $1.5 million projects. And you know what people ask us before they sign the contract? Show me your process. So we open our process, we open our schedules, we open our Monday, how we track everything, we open our numbers, everything we track, and we show them. And they're like, holy shit, these people know their shit. Because why? My target are busy professionals. My target, the people that I work for, understand how important process and systems are to be effective. They understand how important those things are. So they want to see how our process works to make sure that what we're saying is correct. So that's what's very important. We have to show people that and like, okay, you guys experience, where do I sign? And they sign the contract because we have everything organized. All right, that sounds like me a couple of years ago. Alvin, I'm sorry, I think I missed what you were trying to say before. What if you don't have a conference room? Yeah, you don't need a conference room. Any other questions, comments before we move on? We're good?
So Carlos, I have a question. So
What's up, brother?
when you submit a proposal, you don't submit it by mail. Of course, you don't send an email. You set up a Zoom meeting and make a proposal. If you have a conference room, you do a Zoom meeting and then you make the proposal. And of course, before proposing your estimate, you try to aclarar,
Qualify.
not qualify, just get the objections, to try to get the objections. So when you get to that time, it's pretty much not objections. So it's not a price. That's pretty much. So you never send an estimate on an email.
Nope. Never. Ever when I saw an estimate on an email. Unless they already came to my office, they did present, and then I'll send out the copy after, yes.
But what about when we are pricing projects for general contractors, things like that?
Okay, well, for that, there's a sales process for that too. It's gonna be a little different for that. Like,
Okay, so-
and I mean, I can't go into details. I'm a general contractor and I hire subs all the time. So I know exactly how you're gonna be able to increase your closing ratio. And it's always about the way that you communicate with people. Like, what problem do you solve for me as a contractor? And this is the key, guys. Once you figure out who your ideal client is, which is a contractor like myself, a business owner, investor, a homeowner, an association, we own the business, but we all have different targets. Your job is to identify what problem do you solve for them. What is their problem? Because me as a contractor or as an investor, I'm also an investor, by the way. So me as an investor, I have a different sets of problems than me as a contractor. Me as a homeowner, I want to have different problems as an investor. Like, we're looking for something different. The work is the same shit. The work doesn't change. But it's how you present yourself and how do you solve those problems for each individual type of client that you're going after. And once you figure that out, all your energy, marketing, support, your sales process is based on that. So for me, my ideal client is a busy professional, right? And the problems that I solve for them is three things: budget, time, and quality of work. That's it. That's what I solve for them. So everything that I do, my marketing, if you guys see my marketing in my cutting edge innovative company, if you guys see my website, my innovative company, if you guys see my ads, everything has to do with that. Those three things. That's it. When I present myself, I'm focused on those three things. That's it. It's just three things that I have to work on. And I know how to fix those problems. Because of test and trial. A lot of test and trial in my 24 years. You guys have to determine who's your ideal client, what problem do you solve for them? Well, number one, what problems do they have? And then how are you going to solve the problem for them? And then that's how you present yourself. Make sense, Carlos?
Yes, Carlos.
What's your last name, G?
Guchardo.
Okay, Carlos Guerrero. So we're almost there.
Almost there, yes.
All right, guys. Any other sales questions?
Hey, Carlos, another question. Like in the first meeting, you don't give kind of ballpark or something like, because people always ask, okay, what is the price? What is the price? What is the price? So you give like any ballpark, oh, this is the range between this and that. So in that way, you know, like they have the budget for the second meeting.
Always. I always get the budget from them, actually. I don't give them, I get it from them. Why is it important for you to get the budget from them first? Because they might have an unrealistic budget. So if they have an unrealistic budget, I need to switch my hat to teach, to educate. Why? Because I'm handling that objection before I get to the presentation. And this is for everybody here. One of your major objections is going to be price. Can we all agree?
Yes.
So you need to learn how to handle the objection before you get to the price. So when people come to my office, we already discussed the price. They already know how much is going to come out roughly. Yes, 100%. But also, you have to learn the skills on how and when is the right time to ask for the budget. You cannot just get on the call. By the way, we get the budget on the initial call. That's when we get the budget. But there is a framework that we follow to get that budget in the initial call. You have to learn how to ask for it before you ask for it. Because if you ask it in a wrong sequence, they're not going to like it. You have to make sure that you made a connection. You have to make sure they're opening it up. Now you're ready to ask for the budget. So there's steps that we have to do before you ask for the budget.
Makes sense.
My pleasure. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? All right. Let's continue. All right. So skill number 3, execution. Profit is protected before work starts. Okay. Number 3, execution. This is basically they signed the contract. You're excited. Bam, you got a new project. Now what? Why projects feel chaotic? Number 1, decisions are made too late. Decisions are made too late. The best outcome you could get, the best prices, negotiation, whatever you call it, takes time. A lot of times I see people trying to rush things and they don't have all the decisions made. And that's where problems happen. Number 2, assumptions instead of agreements. You don't really understand what the client needs or wants. Like you understand, like they want this, they want that, but you don't really get it. You're assuming. Never assume, guys. Communication is so important. Clarity is so important. Remember from the sales, clarity is so important. Communication, ask the right questions, repeat it back to them. Make sure it's in writing. Make sure they agree. Why? Because people forget. People speak to you, they spoke to 10 other people. At the beginning, when they first spoke to you, they spoke about A, B, and C. Now, 3 months in the pre-construction, you're pulling permits. Now, A, B, C changed. So make sure, don't assume. If there's any confusion, if there's any doubt, don't assume. Ask. Okay? And the final for chaotic projects is the structure. Structure, the framework, your steps, your process. What comes first, the egg or the chicken? In your business, what works for you, for your business? Not what the client wants, how they want to do it. No. What you know is proven that works. Your structure, step by step. From the point that the client signs the contract, what happens next? Do you have an onboarding with a client? You have a site visit with a client. Like what happened? You need to have a structure. The most expensive mistakes is fixing problems instead of preventing them. This is why I was telling you guys, you have to learn how to prevent problems from happening. Your job as a leader, as a manager, as a project manager, the project superintendent, whatever you're doing, your job is to see what could potentially happen and prevent those problems. For instance, and this has happened, I know this happens to most of the people. If you place an order for, let's say, I don't know, doors, windows, and you order the doors and windows, you wait 4 to 6 weeks, the window doors arrive, and the sizes are wrong. What happens? You lose money, you lose time, you have to reorder, or you have to reconfigure the opening. Why? Because you didn't prevent a mistake from happening. You could have easily double, triple check the measurements, but you failed to do that because you got lazy or whatever the situation is. And I've seen this a lot. If you order interior doors and you order a pre-hung door, you forgot to measure the jamb. And now the jamb is a 1/4 inch smaller, and then you have to fill up the gap with caulking. And then the client sees it, why are you putting caulking here? And it looks like shit. And they're gonna complain. They're not gonna want to pay you. They're gonna hold your money back. Like you have to learn how to prevent based on your experience. Another thing that you could prevent is the way that you do your schedules. Like if you're not thinking about the schedules and the logistics and the schedule on how people are gonna work in the job site, or what comes first, who should be working first, who comes next, how the whole flow works, having the team talking to each other, communicating. Like, yes, maybe you have to do an additional meeting with the team, but that's going to save you time. You're preventing problems because one problem, as we spoke before, is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to fix the problem. Then comes the time that it takes, right? Then comes the reputation. Now you look like an ass for your client. They're not going to refer you because they see you're incompetent. They're going to say you're incompetent, right? So you have to learn how to avoid future problems by being proactive, not reactive. What must be cleared from day one? All right, so from day one, the scope of work. The scope determines everything. The final scope of a full set of plans, approved, checked, triple checked, determines everything. Determines how long it's gonna take, determines who comes first, determines the timeline, which is number 2, the timeline. Like you have to have a full schedule for the project. You know, what comes first, what comes next. Responsibilities. From day one, who's responsible for what? Are you responsible for X, Y, Z? Is the client responsible for anything? Like you have to make the client responsible too. Like client needs to pay on time. Okay, good. Client needs to make decisions on time. Clients need to provide X, Y, and Z on time. Your sub needs to do what? You have to do what? Who's responsible for what? Responsibilities and expectations. From day one, set expectations. All right, this is how we work. This is how we process. This is how it's going to happen. The minute we get to drywall finish, there's going to be a payment. You have 10 days to make the payments. The minute we get here, there's another payment. You have another 10 days to make the payment. What are those expectations? I'm gonna update you weekly. Maybe the client, you need to update the client weekly. Like you have expectations. Every Monday, I'm gonna send you a weekly update. Okay. Every other 2 weeks, we're gonna have a job site walkthrough. What are the expectations that you're setting with your clients? Same thing applies with your subcontractor, with your team. What are those expectations for your crews? Are they allowed to walk in whenever they want? Are they supposed to throw the trash on the floor? Are they supposed to lock after they leave? Clean after? Like, what are those expectations that you're setting with the crews, with the teams? How does that look like? So you want to have all this clear from day one. This is just helping you guys avoid problems. Okay, this whole thing is about avoiding problems. All right, let's go to workbook, page number 8 for project clarity. So go to page 8, let's fill in the blanks. Okay, most projects problems start before work begins. The most common issue I deal with during the project are what? Write down what is your most common problem that you have dealing with your project. What is it? Is it subs showing on time? Is it subs working? Is the client's not paying you? Like, do you have client problems? Do you have sub problems? Do you have all the problems? Like most people with that experience, you're gonna have all the problems. You're gonna have all the problems because you haven't learned the skills yet. Yet, everybody gets to learn skills. You can all learn. You could learn this, but you haven't learned the skills yet to prevent most of these problems. Which, by the way, operations is gonna be the hardest part of the whole project. The hardest part. That's either whether you're gonna make money or you're gonna lose money. And just because you made a profit doesn't mean you made money. What I mean by that, Carlos? Well, if I was supposed to make $5,000, I'm throwing a very low number. If I was supposed to make $5,000 in a month, but the project took 6 months, did I make money or did I lose money? I lost money. It took me 6 months to make $5,000 on a project that should have been done in 1 month. That's a problem. That's a problem for your business. That's a problem for you to scale. That's a problem for you to hire people and teach them how to do it right so that they are able to manage these projects for you. Or they're able to take on their responsibility and learn those skills that you need to learn. All right, so most of this could have been avoided if, write your answer. Most of these problems that you have could have been avoided if what? All right. Before a job starts, what's usually unclear in your projects? Before a job starts, what's usually unclear? The scope, the timeline, responsibilities, expectations. Check mark wasn't clear. And then guess what? Once you understand what's unclear, now you know what you need to work on. You need to know what you need to fix. Okay? Execution clarity check. Profit is usually lost because what? Why is your profit lost? Decisions are made too late? Things weren't clear or agreed on? Is it because you're not getting that decisions, or is it because the client's just not using miscommunication with the client all the time? What is it? What is it, my friends? Only you know. Only you know your struggles. Only you know your bottlenecks. Only you know. All right. Any questions?
Yeah, I have another question, Mr. Carlos.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
One of the biggest struggles I face is I don't do big jobs like, $600,000 big projects that you could do 6 months to 2 years. Usually I refinish kitchens and do other things like that are smaller, 30, 40 max, unless it's a huge, kitchen. And one of the biggest problems is that sometimes the job is over, and because you're scared to schedule something too close to try to keep going, then the next job is, say, 3 weeks away. Or backwards, I give myself 4 weeks to do it, and then I need 4.5 to 5, and then I start getting kind of like a train wreck. And sometimes when you're dealing with this smaller numbers, you do have to do a lot of projects, 2-3 projects a month to be able to carry the money, for the bills and everything.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle small scheduling? I usually give myself 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks to finish a kitchen, and I try to put 2 in 1 month. And sometimes I roll over, and then the next guy's ready. Hey, you're ready for my kitchen? I took everything out of the room. I'm ready for you. I'm like, I'm still dealing with the one before, and there's no way to tell when you saw the job 3 months away. 2 months away. They want a set schedule, and sometimes I'm like, this is an estimate time frame for you, but that's their living space. It's not they can just change their vacation days and job hours for me,
Yeah. I mean, for you, it's like you just have to learn how to delegate. You're doing everything yourself. You're doing most of it yourself, and you're not delegating those responsibilities because your job should be selling more kitchens. Like you should be able to sell 20 kitchens a month, and then deliver 20 kitchens a month. So then the question becomes, it's not a question about how do you do it. It's a question about how can you do 10 kitchens a month. Like what do you need in the business and the resources to do 10 kitchens a month? Maybe you need a bigger warehouse. Maybe now, what do you do? Like, do you do the actual? Do you fabricate the cabinets, or do
I
you
started having issues with my providers, and eventually I got tired, and I opened up my own shop and fabricate my own kitchen. This is my showroom here. And
Okay.
but now I am definitely slower because I'm not counting on other people to do my work. So I'm kind of sales and other stuff. And yeah, I'm it's a learning curve. Learning curve.
Yeah. And listen, I love your showroom. You know, it's great to have a showroom. It's great to have all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like your business should be paying for that, right? And to me, what it sounds like, you still don't have the help to do 4 kitchens at the same time
No,
or
I
3
don't.
kitchens at the same time.
Right.
So that's your bottleneck. Your
That is my
bottleneck is
bottleneck.
your bottleneck is not like slowing down. No, I have to push projects. I have to say no to projects. Your bottleneck is like, which is a good problem, by the way. That's a good problem to have, right? Your problem is like, how do I duplicate myself so that I could have another me doing these responsibilities and I could focus on these responsibilities. And then if your bottleneck is vendors, then trust me, then you have a bottleneck. Go find more vendors. Listen, there's unlimited options out there. But if you're not putting your time and investment on finding more vendors, finding more resources to help you offload and do things better,
Yeah.
then you're capping yourself because you're thinking about how can I do 1 kitchen at a time and start the next kitchen at a time and start the next, and it shouldn't be how can I do 1 kitchen, then the next, this one finishes, this one starts, this one finishes. No, it should be how can I do 3 kitchens at the same time. Like think about how can you do 3 kitchens? What's holding you back from doing 3 kitchens at the same time?
I tried doing that and then working with subcontractors that didn't have the same quality control as your internal people. And then now it became a problem too, because now and I did that. It was just selling, getting deposits. And then I realized, crap, I have 4 months of jobs that I have to deliver to customers. Forget the selling. I better get to work and deliver the jobs, or else I'm gonna start, grabbing from Peter and paying Paul kind of thing. And then the quality control was not there all the time. And customers, when it comes to their kitchen, man, those lines have to be straight and things. And it was not as easy to turn them around. And that's kind of what the question was when it came to scheduling, because it was more of a delicate niche of where people want perfectionists.
Yeah. So another thing you mentioned is that you're doing $30,000-$40,000 kitchens. If people want perfection, they should be paying $60,000, $80,000 kitchens. Like maybe you have to increase your price so you could hire somebody else to do the quality control. You have a person doing quality control. That's all they do: schedule quality control. You take that away from your plate and you focus on sales. Because clearly you know how to sell.
I do.
You're a good-looking guy. You have a nice showroom. You know how to sell. You know how to communicate. So that's not your bottleneck. Your bottleneck is the operations part of it. How you duplicate yourself now? Because if you're doing the project, it goes smoothly, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So then if you're doing the project, so you still have to wear your project manager hat, but then you're going to hire somebody to take on the responsibility of going to the job site, checking the quality of work. You're still working with the subcontractors or the vendors. You're going to need vendors, but you're also going to have to set expectations from the vendors so that they understand how your company works. And if they want to continue working with your company, they need to also have a certain responsibility.
Yeah.
And then you get to choose who you hire. And don't get married to just one vendor just because their price. Like that's the biggest mistake that we all do. Like right now, my company has over 200 vendors in our list. And we always are looking for vendors. We do our onboarding. We always want to find good people, because I noticed that people get burned out. Like most of the vendors that I like when I started my business, I had like maybe 5 subcontractors I always used to work with. What I noticed, what happened to me is that I outgrew everybody by 100x, and they stay small. They didn't want to grow. They didn't know how to grow. They stay small, so I outgrew them. So I had to find more help. I had to learn how to put my time and energy instead of at the job site doing the work. I had to put my time and energy learning the skills on being a leader and finding people and onboarding people and training people. I had to learn that skill. But before I was able to learn the skill, I had to learn how to get more business, how to deliver the business. And that's why the skills is first, running the projects is second. Then you get to another level, You hire somebody, you bring people, you create the process and systems, you bring the people to replace you. Now you wear your leadership hat, your manager hat. And now your position changes. But if your position is not changing in your business, you're never going to grow. You're capping yourself. If you're always doing the same thing and never go down, listen to me, guys, never go down on the position. You always go up on the position. And the only way that you go up on the position is by duplicating yourself. You have to duplicate yourself. Oh, but Carlos, I don't know how to do it. I know. You have to learn the skills on how to do it. There's a process on how to hire people, onboard people, train people. And the process is simple. First, you learn the skills. Then you build a process that works. Then you invest in the systems, whatever the system you're going to use, the tools that they're going to need to use. Then you create a job description, very clear, very detailed. Then you create your culture. Like, who are you? What are your beliefs? Like, we have values, company values that everybody has to follow. You create the values. Then you find people, you interview 10, 15, 20 people for the position. Then you hire them. Then you onboard them. You train them. You give them access to the processes, systems that you build. You watch them. You give them the control. And then they're on their own. And then you go into the next part. But you're not gonna find good people. This is the thing, like, you're not gonna find good people. You have to build people. What you're gonna have to look for is people that are aligned to what you're trying to accomplish. They have the same core values as you. They wanna, in my company, everybody knows that everybody has to be a leader in my company. Everybody has to be a leader. I'm only looking for leaders, people that wanna continue growing. If you don't wanna grow, if you don't see yourself in a year in a higher rank, I don't want you to work with. Like, if you have enough ambition in you, you can't be part of my company. Because my mission is to create leaders, 250 leaders to be exact. So people know that. That's my culture. I gotta build leaders, warriors. We're cutting edge warriors. Like, you get the name after you prove yourself. Like, and everybody works for that. Every day we're improving together. Like, and this is every single day. How can we get better together? Every single day. We share stories. We talk about our problems. We talk about solutions. We work as a team. We push together because we know where we're going. That's how you start building your team. But that's next. But you might be close to there because you already have a showroom. You already have an office. Now it's like, okay, let's fix that. Let's create your process and systems, and then boom, let's duplicate you. And then that's when you take care of the problem. All right, anybody else?
Are you hearing me?
Yes. What's up, brother? I seen you before. I've seen you a couple of times.
How are you doing, Carlos?
I love your content. By the way, this guy does great content.
Thank you,
Right?
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Your personal brand is I love it, bro. What's up, brother?
My biggest problem is me. It's not a company. I do great with sales, and I never been in a slow season. There's always people calling me. My biggest problem is, like, I don't know how to keep up, and I don't know how to delegate what I hate the most, which is doing like the follow up when people call, when people text, and sending estimate on time. One time I got a person that I was trying to delegate my
Your time, yeah.
the problem that I have, but I didn't even know how to do that, to be honest. I just don't know how to. Like,
Yeah,
I just get like overwhelmed. I don't know how to explain them what they should do. I don't know how we will do it because I don't have an office. I don't need an office. So they're gonna be in their own. I don't know how to do that part, and that's like a very, very struggling because there's a lot of opportunity that I'm kind of like missing out. By the way, since the last time that we talked, I don't know if you remember. I remember you said you need to like focus on one thing, and that's what I've been doing. It's been booming since then. Like, I was doing, I was all over the place, and now I'm kind of like focusing like more like a niche.
Yes, I love that, and I'm glad you took my advice, and that always works. Like, you're focusing it. So now, so see, right now you already have the leads, you already have the projects,
Yeah.
But it's still you and some helpers, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. So more time?
Is you and some helpers that do the work, right?
No, I don't. I'm kind of a little bit out more. So now
Okay,
it's
love it.
the people that I have. I have
Okay,
staff and I have people in house. I have 3 people in house, and I use a sub that has been with me since almost a year, and he
love
have
that.
2 helpers.
Love that. So this is what you should do. Number one, you should start increasing your price a little bit. Test the market, because are you too busy right now?
Yeah. Thank God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this for everybody. If you're too busy, it's time for you to increase your price. There's nothing wrong with you increasing your price. You bring a lot of value. People love you. You do quality work. You should increase your price. This is gonna basically be able to give you more projects at a higher price, make more money in less time. In that transition that you're doing, you have to start investing in your process and your systems so that you could duplicate yourself. The same thing I was telling him. We have to work on your processes and systems, right? What does that mean? Okay, well, what tools do you use? Only you know what you do, how you do it. So you create a process, which is a step-by-step guide. Then you invest in a system so you could track activities and stuff like that. Then you have to hire somebody, train them, and then you could step out. And by the way, when you hire people, you may want to hire 2 people at the same time. But
Well,
that's yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but I can duplicate myself in the skill level, the project management, but I don't know how to duplicate myself in the organization of the business because I do an awful job. Like my job like putting things together. Like for example, this meeting, I was driving. I kind of like I put on my calendar.
A
But
ver,
for some
dice la
reason-
mirada.
Hello.
No, go ahead, God. You're good.
Yeah, like I put too much stuff like all over the place, and I kind of like I don't know how to duplicate myself because I don't do the right job neither in that part.
Okay, so I mean, we're gonna have to have another talk, but I feel you're in the scale, not in the scale, but I feel like you're in the next level to basically start building your team. Because I seen your work. I know you have a lot of experience. It's just basically figure out what is the next position that you gotta hire to take off the responsibility that you're dealing stuff right now that you shouldn't be dealing with, so you could step up to the next role. That's where you are. You're ready to step to the next role. But you have to not duplicate yourself, but you have to hire somebody that takes tasks that you shouldn't be doing anymore.
Yeah, that's
Where does most of your time go right now?
driving.
But why are you driving so much?
Going to clients' houses, and
To
they
do
like
what?
all over the place
Yeah, you go to houses to do what?
to do estimate and also project and when they're running the project for.
Okay, so you're the salesperson and you're the project manager.
I'm the project manager. Yeah.
Okay, so you're the salesperson because you go do estimates, you're selling
Yeah.
jobs, and you're the
Yeah.
project manager. Okay,
Yeah.
so we just have to find a project manager to do what you do, and then you just focus on the sales, and you build the sales, and you have a project manager, and then the
The-
project manager drives to the job sites every single day.
But the thing is, the project management part, this is kind of like a good business, but for a project manager that just been driving, I don't like it doesn't like you know what I mean. Like I'm paying that much money for somebody that oversee the project. Because
You're not paying that much money. The projects are paying that much money.
Say one
Okay,
more time.
that you're not paying that much money. The projects are paying that much money. That's why you have to increase your prices. Number one, you increase your prices because you know the value you provide. Your project manager gets to oversee how many projects do you have in a given time.
Like monthly, you're talking about?
Monthly. How many projects do you do monthly?
Well, there's like small project and like medium projects, maybe like 20, something like that,
Okay,
or
20.
more.
So
Yeah.
so what we need to do with you is that a couple of things. Price goes up, but also the project size starts going up. You can't grow your scale your business if you're only doing small projects. Like at some point you have to say, you know what, I'm going to go to the $20,000 average. What's your average size project in revenue?
The revenue is the money that come in.
Yeah, per client.
No, but the revenue is like what the money that come in or the money that is profit.
Yeah, the money that comes in, that client pays you.
Like $6,000.
6,000. That's
Yeah.
too small. So we need to get you to that $20,000 average project size, right? Because now you have the recipe, you have the experience, you have the recipe. Now we need to get you to doing $20,000 jobs, and then you're gonna do $100,000 jobs, and then you're gonna do $200,000 jobs. And the bigger you go on the jobs, the easier it gets. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now you could keep that niche of small projects, but you shouldn't be managing those projects. You should have a guy increase the prices regardless. You have a guy doing what you're doing, running around the jobs, selling the jobs, running around the jobs, right? You start focusing on bigger projects. He focuses on the small projects. You make a little less money on those projects, but all those projects, the 20 projects that you're doing, he does those projects. He makes some money. You take some money out of those projects. You're building bigger projects. You handle the bigger projects, and eventually you blow up. But
Let me just ask you one more question about that. The project manager, he need to have skill, right?
the project manager, what?
Need to know about construction, right?
No, not necessarily. You could teach all that. The project manager needs to. In your case, you could hire somebody to do the sales and the project manager. You just have to train them how to do it. You have to give them the tools to do it.
Yeah.
Like when you schedule your projects, how do you schedule your projects? You have 20 projects a month. How do you schedule them? Do you have a software that you use? Do you do it in pen and
No,
paper?
I use Google Calendar.
Okay, so in Google Calendar, you're gonna teach this person how to do the schedule in Google Calendar, which I suggest, at some point you're gonna have to upgrade Google Calendar and do a little bit more professional. But for now, it works. So you're gonna train this person how to use Google Calendar. You're gonna train this person what comes first, how to schedule, how to coordinate, and you oversee this person. But he's the one driving around. He's the one going to the jobs. In the mornings, he just goes all the jobs. He's running all the jobs for you, all the 20 jobs for your month. He's running those jobs. The 20 jobs should be able to sustain his pay. And you could offer him a commission based only, based on profits. Like you don't have to pay them. If you show somebody that you have enough projects for them, people just want to work. If you show somebody that you have enough projects for them, and that this is a split, this is how much money your project's made, and as long as he's doing this, you're gonna give him a 50%, a 20%, whatever percentage of the profits, and he could make $150,000 or whatever the number is, and it makes sense for him. He'll do all the 20 projects for you. What you do, you just buy yourself time by paying somebody half of your profits. If the numbers make sense, you have to figure out the numbers. You buy yourself time so that you, the face of the company, I seen you on Instagram. I know who you are. You do great job of posting, which by the way, you need to continue doing that, right? You continue doing that. You build a relationship, you build a brand, you build a face. Now you're ready to basically take your business to bigger projects because you have the experience. And then you focus on that bigger projects. Your project manager, sales guys is doing those small projects. You're still making some money. You're not making the money you were making before, but you went through a transition period, which by the way, every time you transition out from the role, you're going to take a loss, a paycheck cost. You're going to drop a little bit. And that's okay. Because your goal is much bigger. But the only way that you can scale your business is by having more people. Share the money. Don't be greedy. Be here for the long term. This is a long-term game, guys. And the only way that you long-term is that you have more people working with you that have the same culture as you. They have to be responsible. They have to be likable. They have to be coachable. They want more for themselves and their families. Like your job is to help other people. And the way that you help other people is that you build this massive business. And that's how you help more people.
Thank you.
But brother, you're right there, man. You're right there. You're right there. You just have to adjust little adjustments. That's all it takes. And poof, you start going up. I was there too, bro. Like I know exactly where you are. All right, guys. Any other questions? Do you bring family to work? Oh, I love the question. Do you bring family to work for you business? Oh, no. Stay away from family. Stay away from family. I did that mistake 2 times. The only family that works for me is my dad, and he works because I either give him a check every month to sustain him, which I will, or I keep him busy. And my thing is just to keep him busy. Like he works for me, but just to keep him busy. But when you bring people to work for you, always put your company first. What is your company needing? And then based on that, what is the job title? What is the job requirements? And then the person that you're gonna hire for position needs to be able to fulfill those shoes. Because what happens if you hire the wrong person and they're not taking the responsibility away from you, that's pointless. Like you did all this for nothing. Like some people just hire people because they're friends, their families, and they should not be in the role. They should not be in the role. Right? He just asked me, do they have to have project management construction experiences? I mean, a project manager, you don't have construction experiences. You have management experience. It's different. It's a different experience that you need to have. Like most of the people that I brought in, they didn't know anything about construction, and they're running projects. They're crushing it. There were realtors. Some people were realtors. Like every professional. I just want people that know how to manage. That wanna be leaders. I want that ambition. The construction, you're gonna learn the construction. When they go to the job site, you're gonna start seeing and learning. But who needs to know the construction? The subcontractors. That's the trades that we hire. They need to know the construction. They need to learn how to follow the plans. They need to learn how to read the plans. I don't need to learn how to read the plans and follow the plans as a project manager. I'm just managing the project. I'm coordinating. I'm overseeing. I'm following up. I'm checking. I have eyes. I could check if it looks good or doesn't look bad. There's inspections, and city inspectors going to come and pass inspections. Yes, does it help if they have construction experience? Absolutely, it helps. 100% it helps. But do you have to hire somebody with that experience? No. Sometimes hiring somebody with too much experience is not good for you. So yeah, don't hire family members unless they're qualified for the role. Unless they're qualified for the role, and they're gonna take a headache away from you. But if you hire somebody that you constantly have to be on top of, they're not solving a problem for you. The people you want to hire, they're gonna solve problems for you. And this is what I tell my people: the bigger problem you solve, the more money you make. I repeat, the bigger the problem you could solve, the more money you make. So if you hire somebody, it's not gonna solve any problems for you, it's a headache for you, you did the wrong hire. And again, that's on you, my friends, for not asking the right questions, for not doing the interview, and for not training them properly. That's on you. Usually it comes down to you. All right. Any other questions before we continue? We're good? All right, let's continue. Woo. Okay, where we left off. Okay, so connect the dots. All right, so basically you got the leads, you do the sales execution. It's always this is how you do cash flow in your business. Okay, leads, sales, execution. Leads, sales, execution. The pattern, the same issue repeats until the skills improve. Okay, so the whole point about this is if your skills is broken in one of those 3 things, you're gonna have the same problems because you need all 3. If you cannot generate qualified leads, if you know how to sell with value, not be the cheapest, and you know how to deliver the projects by having the skills, you're always gonna have the same issue. They're all connected. And the number one reason that the number one job in your business has one job and one job only. Okay? Your business, not you, your business has one job and one job only. And it's to what? It's to generate cash flow. Money comes in, money goes out. Money comes in, money goes out. Money comes in, money goes out. Money comes in, money goes. That is the one job your business has. That's it. One job. Your business, cash flow. And how do you do cash flow in your business? You get the right lead, you sell the right project, you execute. Taking ownership. All right. This isn't about blame, it's about responsibility. Okay, you guys have to understand. One of you guys said, "Yeah, I'm full responsible." That is exactly why the mindset needs to shift. You are fully responsible. You have to take ownership. Okay, I am fully responsible for my outcome. Every single day, I'm fully responsible. I don't care what happens today. I don't care what problems I have. I probably did something to get to the outcome. I don't care if the sub didn't show up. I don't care if the client didn't pay me. I did something. I chose the sub. I chose the client. I didn't say I didn't deliver what I said I was going to do. It always comes down to me. So let's go to page number 9 in your workbook. Page number 9. We're almost done, guys. Almost done. Let's go. Energy level up. So I want you guys to fill this up. The pattern I now see across my business. What's the pattern you see across your business? Okay, like where are you seeing this? What's the pattern that you see? What are the mistakes you keep repeating? What are they? You have a bad habit. What's that bad habit? The pattern that you keep seeing in your business. What is a mistake that keeps repeating in your business? What I avoid fixing because I am short or uncomfortable. What is it that you know is broken, but you haven't fixed it? Because maybe you don't know. You're uncomfortable. What is that? Take ownership, guys. What are those things? I'll give you a few seconds. Let me grab a water. Can you? Thanks. Actually, I think my bottle's over there. Yeah. Actually, no. Let's pass me a water. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right, let's move on. Okay, knowing what to do is not the same as doing it well. Okay, this is one of the biggest mistakes I see, guys. Knowing what to do is not the same as doing it well. What do I mean by that? A lot of people get the information, more information. They show up, more information. They take notes, more information, but they don't do it. They don't do it enough. They don't do it enough. It takes a lot of repetition, guys, to build your skills. It takes a lot of test and trial to get better. This is every single thing. One of you guys said consistency. That's what it is. Consistency, as long as you're collecting data and you're improving. That's why it's so important to collect data and improve. Like, where are your gaps? Okay? Why most contractors get stuck? They get bad feedback, they get no training, and they make the same mistakes. Who's giving you the feedback? Where are you getting your information from? I'll talk to you guys this at the beginning. Make sure that you get information from the right sources. Okay? You have to block all the noise, all the gossip, all the bullshit that people tell you. Like, if I was to listen to most of my friends that don't have a business, that don't know anything about construction investment, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I had to listen to Grant Cardone. I had to listen to Andy Elliott. I had to listen to people. That's what I had to listen to. Number 2, no training. Are you training every day? And this is also your personal life, by the way, guys. Like, everything starts with you personal. Like, how is your life at home? How is your relationship with your wife? How's your relationship with your kids? How is your personal relationship? You in the gym, fitness. What do you put in your body? Do you feel good about yourself? Do you have that energy? Okay? And not only are you training that, but you're also training your mind, your mindset, your skills. Are you improving every single day, or are you just blaming the world? Training, a lot of reps. And then same mistakes. Continue making the same mistakes. And you can continue blaming other people. But that stops today. The reason we did this is for clarity, guys. You have this for clarity. You guys have to understand, step 1, where are your gaps? What are you going to start fixing? Okay, so the gap. Let's go to the gap. Page 10. Okay, so understand if it's not the same as applies. Okay, so what happens if I try to fix this alone again? Like, are you going to try to fix this alone? What happens if you try to fix it alone? What do you think is going to happen? You don't get the right help. The biggest risk of continuing to guess is what? What are you risking? If you continue to guess, if you continue to wing it, what's the risk for you? Is that a relationship? Is it just money? Is it time? What are you risking in your business, in your personal, in your professional life? if you continue guessing, winging it, if you don't make action, what will change if I had a guidance while applying this on real jobs? If you have somebody to help you on real jobs, what would it change for you? Like if you have somebody to, hey, I have this problem. Here's a solution. Will that help you? What will change? This is the gap between knowing and doing. Knowing and doing. All right, so you got two paths. Try to apply this alone or practice with guidance and feedback. Okay, so path number one, you take the information I gave you today, and you try to fix the gaps. But by now, I really hope you guys at least know the gaps that you have in your business or in yourselves. Like that was my whole purpose on this training. My goal was to make sure that you walk out of here with knowing that you have gaps and at least knowing where you need to start focusing your time and energy to start fixing those gaps. Okay? So the path is you try to fix those gaps alone. The other path is that you stop guessing and you get guidance. You get the feedback. You get the skills, somebody to help you with that, to fix those gaps. Now, here's the order your growth matters, and this applies to everybody. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit more insight of how your growth works. So we have the contractor growth path. Can you guys see that my screen behind me? Can you guys see it? It's probably not too small, right? Yes, you see it. Okay, good. All right. So we have these stages for everybody. Stage number one is the early stage. None of you guys are in an early stage here. So this stage is basically people that are trying to maybe get into the business. People that are doing something else and they're just thinking about it, they're getting information. Most of the time, most of the people will not take any action, will not move to the next stage. Okay, these are the information seekers. They just want information, they want information, they want information. They watch YouTube videos, they never do anything. You got the foundation people. These are the people, which is going to be most of you, that already are in the business. You guys already have the experience, and you have some issues in your business. You may have lead issues. You may have the sales issues. You may have the project execution issues. But most have issues in all three areas. Okay, that's the execution, the foundation. Then you have the people in execution phase. These are the people that already have generating cash flow. Things are going well. Things are moving along. They have the confidence. They have the skills, but they cannot grow. They cannot duplicate themselves. They're stuck. They're capping themselves because they have not learned to hire people, to onboard people, to get people to basically work with them to build something much bigger. Then you have the people in the scale phase. These are people that already have a full team. By the way, my business is in the scale phase. I will always stay in the scale phase. I will always stay, even though I don't work in my business, I only work 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a week. I will always stay in the scale phase because I want my business to continue growing. These are people that you already have a team, you already have systems, process, but there's always room for improvements. And that's what I told you at the beginning. Even my business, I'm always looking for improvements. Where can I improve? Do I need to be a better leader, a better communicator? Do I need to offer more services? Do I need to expand to different markets? That's the scale phase. All right, so the second path, if you guys decide to get help, is the Contractors Trading Academy. I put this together for contractors. We have tested this with hundreds of contractors that already joined the program. Let me tell you about cutting edge mentoring. I started cutting edge mentoring over a year and a half ago. And cutting edge mentoring, the reason that I started is because I wanted to help other contractors like myself to get over the lumps. We did a lot of test and trial. We tried a lot of different things to helping people. And one of the most things that happen to most people is that people, and this is fact, this is data, we learned this, that most people get information, but they're not willing to apply it They're not willing to make the changes. They're not willing to transform themselves. They give up. So we came up with this to help people, make it easy for them. And this is why it exists. Help contractors practice the three skills on real jobs with real support. So the academy is not for more information for you guys. I think you guys have already enough information. You don't need more information. So you just need to learn more skills. Okay? Because construction, you're running construction jobs already. And the skills that you're lacking is costing you thousands and thousands of dollars plus time and stress. So we came up with this. It's a 12-week program. We did it for 12 weeks just because we want to make sure that you guys have enough time to go through the program and see the value before you continue the program. So after the 12 weeks, you guys should continue the program. Okay? And these 12 weeks, we're going to focus on three things. Better leads for your business, for your jobs. I don't care if you're a plumber. I don't care if you do bathrooms. I don't care if you're a general contractor. I don't care if you do cabinets. Whatever you do is the same thing. The process assistance is the same thing. The skills are the same thing. The next thing is confident in sales. We want to make sure that you build a process that you could increase your prices. I promise you there's a process for that. There's a recipe. There's a framework that I use in my company today that I get people with no experience to learn the process, follow the process, and sell $500,000 projects without any experience within 3 months. The last thing is that control execution, project execution. This is where you make your money, you break your money, because you put all that time and effort on generating leads, starting the project, and then you drop the ball. And the project execution, the control execution, this is going to be the hardest thing for most people here. For everybody in the industry. Why? Because the projects is what that takes the longest. The clients are the picky ones. They're looking at every little detail. This is where the money is made or lost. Because you don't make money when you generate a lead. You don't make money when you sell the project. You make money when? When you're making progress in the job site, when the clients are paying you, that's when you make the money. So every week, what's gonna happen? Every week, like today, we're gonna get together on a live call just like this, and we're gonna go over the skills. We're gonna work with you about your particular situation, and I'm gonna give you live coaching, training, advice on your real projects, on your clients. Like if you have a situation with a client right now, and Carlos, this is what I did, I don't know what to do. Boom, let's talk about it. And then I'm gonna give you live coaching like I did today. We did some live coaching today, but it's gonna be very similar to today. I'm gonna tell you exactly what you should do, how to do it so that you can start executing it right now and fix the problem today. Because most of you guys don't have a person that you could rely on to ask questions. Maybe you have Gigi, maybe you have, sorry, I call it Gigi. Maybe you have ChatGPT. But ChatGPT is not doesn't understand what I understand. So you're gonna have access to me every single week for a whole hour on a live call. You're gonna bring your deals, and we're gonna walk through them. In addition to that, you're gonna have 4 online courses. I have created 4 online courses that speaks about marketing, sales, and operations. In these courses, you're gonna be able to watch these courses anytime from your phone, from your computer, and you can just watch the courses over. The courses that I created are very direct. I'm a very direct guy. I don't try to bluff too much stuff. And that's what has helped me with my team, my own team. I have created courses for them to watch it, to learn it, and to execute it. So the same thing that I've done for my team to duplicate myself and get out of my business, I'm doing for contractors as well. So this is basically the onboarding and training that I do for my internal team. I also do it for contractors. And when you see these courses, for you guys, it's like, okay, this is what I need to build for my team when you want to start scaling, okay? So you're going to have access to the 4 courses online. And as I make more courses, you're going to have access to those as well. Right now, we have those 4 courses that are going to help you with what? With leads, with sales, and with project management. Okay, those 3 things, the 3 skills. So you have the courses, I use Poso. You could share it with your team. If you have somebody, you could give them access to your online courses and so forth. In the courses, you're also gonna have some templates. You're gonna be able to download some templates for the courses that you guys could use. Okay, they're very basic templates, but they help you. And then eventually, you upgrade the templates to a software. So there's gonna be some tools in the templates that you could use. We also obviously gonna have a chat on WhatsApp. You could ask any questions. There's already people in there, and you ask any questions. We give you answers right there and then, and we help each other. We also have noticed that people start working with each other. Like there's different trades here. Like, you have a cabinet guy. Like maybe Kira needs his services. So why not work with a community that you could trust? Because we're learning together. Okay, so you have access to that. So the investment is a one-time payment for $19.97, one time, $2,000 for the 12 weeks. There's also payment options if you prefer. Okay. So who is this for? Contractors ready to stop guessing and start improving. So this is not for everybody. Okay. This is basically to help you fix the problems that you have today. Just one problem that will help you fix will pay for this whole program. It's one problem. I know it because I'm in the business. You're gonna stop guessing. We're gonna keep you accountable too, showing up. You need to show up to the calls. We're gonna be following up with you. You guys are gonna use the chat to put in your problems so that we could discuss them live in the calls before we get into the call. So the next step is basically you go to cuttingedgementoring.com/academy. I'm gonna have my team put it on the chat really quick. Can we put it on the chat, guys? Okay, so that's the next step. Just go to the link on the chat. Go to cuttingedgementoring.com/academy. You could do a one payment, or you could do 3 payments. It's there. The minute you sign up, you're gonna get access. You're gonna get an email with all your credentials to log into the CRM, so you can start watching the videos 2 nights. You have access to all 4 courses. They're very straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 8, 10, 12 in each course. And you'll have access to that tonight to start working on your skills. Your first call will be tomorrow, because we have the calls every Thursday at 12. So every Thursday at noon Eastern time will be the calls. So tomorrow you'll be able to participate in the call. If you can't make it tomorrow, we'll start you the next week. That's fine. I want to give you enough time. Okay, so if you can't make it tomorrow, no problem. We'll start you the next week. And we record the calls, and we'll give you the recording so you could watch the calls. So if you miss the calls, you miss 30 minutes, I understand. We have the recording for you. We'll share the recording. You guys could watch the calls at your own time. Okay? So you have 2 options. Either take action now and start making a difference. I will personally help you succeed, like I'm doing with other contractors, and I'm doing with my team. And can't wait to see you succeed. And again, people have been through these courses. They started with $300,000. They're doing $1.5 million now just because they needed to learn the skills. This program is meant to help you do one thing: make more money. Because when I help you make more money, which you will, if you follow, if you're coachable, if you show up to the calls, if you take notes, and you apply the stuff that I'm gonna help you, teach you, you will make more money. You will make 100 times more money than your investment, guarantee it. Because once you learn it, what happens? You learn it, you apply it, and then every month after month, you're gonna continue doing it. So you don't just make the money for the first thing that you learn. It's over and over and over and over. And you learn the skills that you need to start growing your business. Okay? Let's see. And again, you guys could see the reviews. We have many wins, success stories. It's proven, and it works. So now what I want to do. Oh, look at that. That was me before the skills. By the way, I'm gonna tell you my story really quick. So before I was able to learn, I started 24 years ago. but it took me about 15 years to really learn the skills. Test and trial. I was doing one project. I could only do one project. And this happening to a lot of you guys. And this was already when I was already getting decent projects. This was probably $100,000 project that I'm there in that picture. But I was only doing one project. I couldn't do more because it required all my time. When I learned the skills and I learned how to manage multiple projects, today we do over 40 projects at a given time. That's why when you ask me about, oh, the kitchen, I can only do one. No, that is not your problem. Your problem is like, how do you do 10 projects? Like that's the recipe. It's not about doing one project and then start the next project. No, it's about how we do 3 projects. And I'll teach you how to do that. All right. But it comes down to you. That's the project execution. That's what I'm saying. The project execution is going to be the most comprehensive section that you're going to be able to learn to be able to do more with less time. Listen, I'm about doing more with less time. My whole philosophy is like, how can I do more in less time? How can people like Grant Cardone could build such a big empire that one guy? And it's by having more people. Okay. Right now, my project managers, they do up to 8 projects, one project manager, because I taught them the skills that I learned. And they're able to manage 8 projects. And I'm talking about $500,000 projects. So you guys do the numbers. You guys do the math. Some people that I tell the story and they don't believe me. Oh, there's no way. I mean, I manage projects and, I can only do 1 or 2 projects. It blows their mind when I show them how we do 8 projects. Like they can't even understand it. Of course you can understand it because you haven't been exposed to it. Like sometimes our minds are so like little thinking. And that's one of the biggest problems. When you put yourself in these small rooms, when you put yourself with a people that are not thinking big and they think, those people keep you small. But when you start putting yourself in different rooms with success people, I've been in rooms with billionaires and millionaires. And when you see it, when you're exposed to it, your mind goes poof. What have I been doing this whole time? Why do I keep listening to my friends? And don't get me wrong, I still have my friends. I have my father. But why would I listen to him? I love my father, but I can't listen to him. His mind is too small. Where I want to go I'm not nowhere near where I want to go. And you guys shouldn't be either. You guys shouldn't. You guys shouldn't limit yourselves. So if you're working at the job site, you're limiting yourself because of your small thinking. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest, guys. Like I needed to get a kick in the ass too for me to basically break through and now be owner of multiple businesses. I can't even thought about owning one business. Yet again, owning 4 businesses. I'm about to start my 5th business. Because now when I learned the skills that it takes, I was able to duplicate my businesses. And it's all the same thing. I use the same systems, the same softwares, the same everything for my businesses. The only thing that changes is what? Is the offer, is my ideal client, and the problem that I solve. That's it. But the process of systems is the same thing. And once I was able to learn that, now I make it because my problem was I was failing in every business. I did bathroom remodels, I did just kitchen cabinets. I tried to do every little niche. And I'm like, bro, nothing works. Nothing works. And it wasn't that the market didn't work. It was me. I didn't have the skills to make it work. I was limiting myself. It was me. So what I put here together is to help you guys get through that. Not only am I going to help you get the skills, but I'm going to help you with a mindset. I'm going to push you guys to think different. I want you guys to be my next success stories. I already have a few success stories. I have people texting me. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for everything you're doing. But do not sign up. I'm going to repeat this. I do not want you to sign up if you're not willing to show up. if you're not willing to, because I want to surround myself with winners. I want success stories. I want you to, after the 12 weeks, you tell me, thank you, Carlos, you changed my life, because I will change your life. But you have to put in the time and effort. And by the way, it's only going to about maybe three to 5 hours per week. That's all you need to invest. Don't think that you're going to have to go in here and change everything. No, it's a transition. It's a transition phase. Like we'll start working with one thing that you're having problems right now. 3 hours a week. That's all I ask for you guys. 3 hours a week. 1 hour in the calls, an hour to maybe on the chat, and another hour to implement, to make adjustments. 3 hours a week. And then keep watching the online training videos. 30 minutes a day. But you gotta watch them over and over and over and over. I tell my team the same thing. Like the people that I onboard, I ask them, how many times do you watch the training video? Because they'll come and ask me a question. I'm like, no, go watch a training video. That your answer is in there. Why do I do that with them? Because I'm building leaders. And for me to build leaders, I need to make them accountable. They need to be able to find the resources without me. Because if I'm the one who's always been there, giving them the answers, I'm never gonna build them leaders. So I just tell them, go watch the video, go watch the training, go watch the training, go watch the training. And then once you watch the training, you have a question, then you ask me. When they have a problem, this is for everybody else too, if you're working with the people. When somebody has a problem that they come to you, your first question should be, what will you do? And you sip it. Because why? I want people to solve problems, not give me more problems. So those are just like little stuff that I'm gonna keep working on with you guys. Okay? So go ahead. If you're committed to transformation, if you want growth, if you want my help, it's a link. You click it, you sign up, either 1 payment or 3 payments. I'm gonna go ahead and do like a Q&A really quick. We'll take like 2, maybe 3 questions, and we'll go from there. All right. Who wants to start?
Me.
What's up, brother?
Hey, Carlos, in that course, if there's, I don't know if it's part of the course or if it's possible, if there's any way that maybe like 2 or 3 in person, like your office project like with one of your project manager.
So, sorry, you're breaking up. Can you repeat that again?
Okay.
Can you guys hear him or is it me? I think you're breaking up, brother. Your internet maybe. Is it me or is it him?
Your manager to see how you manage your projects, like, you know what I mean?
I didn't. You froze for like a minute. Ask me again.
Okay. In the course that you was talking about,
Yes.
is there any way that there's like a possibility that I can spend 1 day at your office, and also like 1 day you can be with your project manager, one of your project managers in one of the job sites, just to see like how actually the process look like in, like, you know what I mean, like physically.
Yeah, so that's a great question. I mean, I can't let you just come to my office and be with a project manager. However, we're actually doing a live event in about 8 weeks. It's gonna be a 2-day live in-person event. You're gonna come to my job sites. It's gonna be for project execution only. Like if you're having project problems, this is gonna be the event for you. So you're gonna come. We're gonna do a 2-day event. The first day, we're gonna go to the job sites, and I'm gonna walk you through how we do everything. And then you're gonna come either at my office or we're gonna do another place, and we're gonna do like a whole training for project execution. It's gonna be a very intense. So for sure, that's gonna help you.
Okay, so that's the one thing I'm actually leading for. Like that's actually the one that I would like to do.
Yeah. I mean, the skills that you have is still gonna help you in the project execution because we do projects, but that live event is just something different. It's just so you could come in and do a 2-day experience.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Great question, by the way. Anybody else has any last questions? Could be in Spanish. Yeah, I mean, I'll answer in Spanish. Yo hablo español, so eso no es problema. Yo hablo español, inglés. So, sí, las respuestas pueden ser en español. Pero los cursos están en inglés, porque eso los hice en inglés antes. Mr. Suárez. Onyx Suarez. All right, guys. So I think our time is up. Listen, thank you so much, guys, for being here. Like, I really hope that I gave you some clarity today. That's all I want. I really want to help you guys succeed. I know how hard it is. I firsthand understand it. I understand the struggles. And trust me, there's a better way. There's an easier way, a better way. Working hard, you still have to work hard. You have to work hard, but you have to work smart. Okay? So I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here today. And I hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you in the chats. Thank you guys. Be safe. Thank you. Let's go.